And so right now, it is my good pleasure to welcome to the stage my beautiful friend and author, Liliane Desjardins.
Good morning. We surely had fun yesterday. We said we were going to learn, unlearn, stretch, and fly. A wonderful 13th century poet, Rumi, said, "You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly." That is the greatest truth about us, the real divine imprint, the one that makes our very spiritual DNA, is that truth, that we are incredible beings. It's just that for most of us, life happens. And in the process of life happening, a few things happen, and I'm going to need some help to illustrate that. And I'm going to need some volunteers. So I need my first set of volunteers. Now, this is the circle of influence of God, right here. And who do you think is going to be God this morning? There's God. Now, the second circle is all these wonderful voices of our parents, of society, of religion. So there is the parental voice.
Mind your manners.
There is the society voice, and then all our significant others. And I mean, although you are only my second husband, we are including everybody, so no comments, please. And then there's me. And here I am, looking for God.
It's not going to work. It never did.
You know,
It's not going to.
I see God over there.
Trust me, you need to get your own.
But there are all these voices.
You really need to get your own education.
All these teachers.
And fend for yourself, because
everybody that's been telling me about God, and I see God.
You really have to do.
But I
it on
can't
your
get
own,
through.
because you can't depend on anybody. Nobody's going to help you.
She's too old.
It's you're on your own.
So,
She's too old.
at one point,
I wouldn't go
Can't
home if I
depend
were
on a
you.
man.
at one point, we have enough of those voices. We said, enough, that's it. So we get them out, and we get into therapy. Right? And we do workshops. We read books. We listen to the best of speakers. And we manage to shut some of their voices down. But for most of us, we have still internalized some of them, and then we are repeating them. And it's only when we wake up to the big truth, after 40 days, 40 years, it does not matter, that our true identity, who we are, is this oneness, and we step into this circle. Then there is no separation. Now, what happens actually, my props have gone to the other side. We start, first of all, looking at life through a certain pair of glasses, right? But what really happens is they said we're not enough. They said that we can't do it. And they said a lot of stuff. So here is me, that part of me that is this little scared, fearful, guilty, ashamed me. And you say, I cannot do it. Okay, I disappear. Then there is also the other voice in me that has internalized some of their voices that says, oh yeah? Really? You're going to tell me what to do? So this little creature here that is afraid says, I'm going to do it today. You dummy, who do you think you are? And there I go, and disappear. So how does that dialogue look like? I need now a boss. God, you're done for the day. And I need my voices. So here we go. She's the boss.
Oh.
So I really need a raise.
You don't deserve one.
I absolutely
I
need
think-
some more money
report that you
because
did
I
wasn't
want,
very good.
I
think
really
the
want
boss
to
is
make
having an affair with
the
the
pavilion a
reception.
reality.
You know.
So,
Anybody
boss,
could do a better
can I
job
talk
than
to
you.
you? I really
You
need
don't
a
deserve
raise.
a raise.
You didn't make it to
He's
work
having an
every
affair
day
with the
on
secretary,
time. In
too,
fact,
with
you were
both at the
sick
same
half the
time.
time.
But they don't know each other.
Are they
you know-
sleeping together?
Boss, I really need to talk to you.
The door is always closed.
This one says, that's the end of this. Get out of my way. I'll deal with the boss. So this one shows up for the raise. You are done. I've been in therapy and that's it. So let's deal with this.
Okay, what is it you want?
Well, I want everything that I need and that I deserve, and if you don't give it to me, I'm out of here.
Well, do you really think you deserve it?
Of course I do.
Have you shown that you deserve it?
Every single day. And you know how that goes. I get the ticket, and I'm sent home because of my attitude.
Thank you, goodbye.
So now I've been fired. And I go to church. So now I don't have any more problems. I simply have challenges. And I become very spiritual. Not exactly holy. And I can't understand why they can't understand. If only the world would listen to what I have to say. So I go to see my minister. I can't deal with them. They don't hear me. What am I going to do? I have this challenge with people. I do life perfectly. I'm very loving. It's people that I don't do. What can we change here?
Bless you. I'll pray for you.
So I guess you got the message. And what we want to really say is that none of it is the truth. But we end up like this creature, a little creepy, crawly creature called a caterpillar. Nori Huddle has done incredible research on caterpillars and butterflies. The caterpillar, in caterpillar's consciousness, does not fly, cannot believe that it can fly. But the caterpillar goes and forms a chrysalis, Within the chrysalis are the imaginal cells of the butterfly. The immune system of the caterpillar attacks them. They are the enemy. The more they are attacked, the faster they multiply. And finally, the caterpillar surrenders. And in that moment of surrender, a stream of cells of the butterfly are formed. They still don't know that they are the butterfly until they all connect together. And then the truth is revealed. And out of the chrysalis comes a butterfly. This is who we are, because we have imaginal cells that contain our true spiritual DNA. What these characters form is hardwired connections, wrongly made, that create at the end addictions. What is an addiction? It's stuck energy. That's all that it is. The first one will be our security addiction. The entire not enough syndrome. I'm not good enough. You are not good enough. There's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough of anything. But this one has been imprinted for abundance, for a sense of incredible possibilities. The second core addictions is power and control. The more I feel I don't have enough, the more I have to prove and control. Our entire society out there runs on it. The world right now runs on power control. The opposite is empowerment and manageability. Control pulls you or pushes you. Manageability and empowerment embraces you. Very different. Empowerment and manageability collaborates, and in love multiplies the possibilities. The third one is sensation. The war between not enough and I gotta control it makes us overwhelmed, tired. There is a war going on, and medicators start coming in. So we medicate with work, with TV, with food, with alcohol, with substances, with sex. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what medicator. Actually, none of them works, because you are repeating the same patterns but expecting different results. The worst one is the fourth one, which is addiction to suffering. Now, within the addiction to suffering, there is an element. If you had serious trauma growing up, and you get bonded to the trauma, of course that you will need to address that more adept. But even that trauma is not who you are. It is something that happened to you, but your soul has never, never been damaged by anyone. So many of us stay stuck for years in the suffering. And the suffering, the paradigm is struggle. So life is hard. I got to struggle. It's me against them, and so on. Do you know that our divine imprint, the real truth about us that is in our spiritual DNA, is creativity? The opposite of suffering is creativity. The more you sit on it, the more you wait to express it, the more painful it becomes. And the day that you say, okay, I'm going to show up for my life, suddenly you're empowered. You remember. And when we remember, then we can fly. I know you had some questions.
Yes. In your 32 years as a clinician, and I know you met Gilles and he had already been in that process, I'm wondering if either one of you ever encountered someone who at their core didn't have an authentic self.
No. We have clients in the 32 years because we run the only spiritual addiction program that was licensed by a state. We had some clients that were really in bad shape, had to be transferred either to psychiatry or be institutionalized because they had severe trauma. None of them was without an authentic self, because even in their worst state, they responded to love. And that is the proof that love is the essence within. Because each one of them, in spite of the state, responded to it.
Yes. I want to save time for another piece, Liliane. I'd like to invite Gilles up, and I'd like to invite Mary up, and we're going to put you two in the middle.
Oh.
No, we don't need to put you in there.
Ellen wants these out of the way before the kids come in.
Smart.
All right.
About 27 years ago is when I heard the call to go to Detroit. I was living in Atlanta, and part of that journey involved meeting you two. Mm-hmm. Not too long after that, I met this sweet lady on your left, Gilles. You have a sweet one on each side. And soon after that, we reignited our friendship. You got to meet Mary. We got to have some time together and connect in sweet ways, not a lot. And then we all came to Austin at about the same time. A lot of mutual friends and a beautiful opportunity. We've had the gift of being with the two of you in very special times, in difficult times, and in good times. This book, to me, Liliane, represents the deep calling that Spirit has made through the years that you did in work with Gilles that has benefited thousands. Some of us are here that are those beneficiaries today, and many others are spread across the world. I love that Spirit called you to write this book. I love that this is your spiritual home where it could really be officially launched this weekend. And I'm going to ask you to hold it along with Gilles. And let us, as a spiritual family, give you a blessing. What we do in this moment is we know with Spirit that you are the instruments that God has called forth. Each of you, deep imprints mentioned in this book that were tough, and yet that were the cup that carved your sorrow and the same cup that contains your joy. And we are grateful that you've brought that joy forth in all the ways that you have and in this work. And so we see this work consecrated, dedicated, and spread across the face of this planet in ways that we can't begin to imagine, to enrich the lives of others, to bring healing and love to others, to bring the essence of who you are that Spirit created and called forth into many, many other lives. We do that as your spiritual family. We do that as your friends. We do that as people who love you dearly.
Thank you.
Let's give them a hand.
Thank you. I have one request. We have donated yesterday the workshop and the books to the church because that million for the pavilion means a lot. Collectively, we need to rise out of the consciousness of fear when it comes to finances. Not only do we need to change it for our country, but this pavilion, those classes, are the guarantee that there are no other voices that those children hear, but the truth about who they are, so that we don't have to spend years changing their imprints, and that they can go out and spread the good message. Thank you.